Dear students, hope you are all well. So today we will begin with a chapter in history. The name of the chapter is Janapadas and Mahajanapadas. So today in this topic we will cover the points they are Janapadas, Mahajanapadas and the rise of the Magadha Empire. So Janapadas were the small states of the Vedic period, like in different parts of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, or Maharashtra. The Janapadas became more powerful and turned into Mahajanapadas. There were 16 such Mahajanapadas that we will see in this chapter. Let's move forward. So the first point in Janapadas, that is the period from about 1000 BC to 600 BC is considered to be the post-Vedic period, which means that the period which is after the Vedic period is called as post-Vedic period. And it is in this period that the Janapadas came into existence. It means that this Janapadas came into existence between the 1000 BC to 600 BC. And as I told you, the Janapadas were mainly the small states. That is why the second thing to understand in this concept is very easy. That what is Janapadas? Janapadas were nothing but the many small states. Nowadays also, in our country, we have number of states, right? Like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jammu and Kashmir. All these are the states in our country. Like that, in the ancient period also, number of many states were there. And these states were known as Janapadas. That is, in the ancient period, they were called as Janapadas. This Janapadas spread from today's Afghanistan, which is to the northwest of the Indian subcontinent, to Bengal and Odisha in the east, and to Maharashtra in the south. Now, as we name our states like Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, that way in the ancient period also they had names, but they had different names. Okay, the Janapadas had different names. Let's move forward. Now, next in the Janapadas only, the Janapadas called Ashmak occupied a part of today's Maharashtra. Now, if we see in today's Maharashtra, where these small states were there, Maharashtra was also one of them. Okay? But today, as we know Maharashtra as a state, in the ancient period or in the post-Vedic period, you can say, it was known as Ashmak. That means our state Maharashtra in the ancient period was called as Ashmak. Okay? The Janapada called Ashmak occupied a part of today's Maharashtra. The name of these Janapadas can be found. Now, these names, the ancient name of these Janapadas can be found in different literature, in different books. They are Sanskrit, Pali and Ardhamagadi. So, in this literature, you will find names of these Janapadas. That is the ancient one. If we go through the literature of Sanskrit language or Pali or Ardhamagadi of that particular period, then one can find the names of these Janapadas in these languages. One can also find information about them in Greek historians. Now, one more thing here to understand is that at that time, these historians were there, or you can call them as travelers. They used to travel from one place to another, and while traveling, they used to keep a record related to a particular kingdom or a king, and also the different types of systems that were there in that period, or about the administration, cultural, political, economic, and so that one can find information about all these Janapadas. So these people who used to travel, they also used to write and keep it. Okay, so you can find this in these literature books, in these books. And with this we can understand at that time people of Greek used to come to India and understand the literature. That means people from outside also used to come to India to understand this literature. Some of the Janapadas were monarchies while others were republics. Now here's the difference between the monarchies and the republics. Now if we talk about the monarchy, and it is in the form of a government in which ruling powers is in the hands of one person. So in monarchy, the ruling power is in a hand of one person. And that one person may be a king, okay? He might be a king or some head. So that is called a monarchy. And then when we talk about republic, the next one is a republic is a form of government in which power is held by the people. So here it is held by the people and the representatives. In monarchy it is only held by one person. But in republic it's not held by one person. It's held by the people or the representatives they elect. And affairs of the states are in a public matter, okay, altogether, rather than privately accommodated. In modern times, the definition of a republic is also commonly limited to a government which executes a monarchy. So this is what the basic difference is between a monarchy and a republic. So in a monarchy, only one person is there. But in republic, there are people and different representatives who we elect. So from these, some Janapadas were there where there were a monarchy system and some places had a republic. So there were different systems also at that time. Where was there? There were people who had their own political system was there, or the representatives used to work. Let's move forward. Then the next in the Janapadas is there are some Janapadas had a Gana Parishad, okay, of senior citizens. Now, members of this Gana Parishad came together for discussions, or if there had any issue means problem, and made discussion regarding administrative issues. And this is all about the Gana Parishad. So in Gana Parishad, what people used to do? They used to come together if they had any problem and they used to discuss. The senior citizens, that means the people who are of more than 60 years old. The senior citizens, they used to gather together and they discussed, and that discussing made a decision. They used to take a decision on the particular problem. The place where these discussions used to take place, where all these discussions used to take place, was known as Santhab Agar. Okay? So in a Gana Parishad, senior citizens or the people who took decisions play an important role in maintaining the republic citizens system. So who were the people? The senior citizens. They used to take the decisions in the republic session. Republic means people used to be together of that particular Janapadas. Now, Gautam Buddha also hailed from the Shaka Republic, and every Janapadas had its own coinage. Now, you know, as you know, we studied in the previous chapter, Gautam Buddha also what his aim was to give knowledge about religion to all the people. Okay? That you can see here on the screen. So, every Janapada had its own coinage. Now, what was that coinage? Coinage was coinage of that particular Janapada during that Vedic period. Like today we have currency, right? Just as our country's currency, it is in the form of rupees. And the foreign countries have different currencies like euros or dollars. Like that, there were currencies of coinage of that Janapadas. So in the olden time, these Janapadas had these types of coinage, as you can see on your screen. Then the next is Mahajanapadas. Now some Janapadas, as I told you before, some Janapadas gradually became stronger. Okay, they slowly became stronger and expanded. Expanded means increased their geographical boundaries. And such Janapadas came to be known as Mahajanapadas. So they slowly started expanding their boundaries. So that is why these Janapadas were called as Mahajanapadas. And now it is in the name only. In the name only you can understand. It's not difficult to understand. Janapadas were small states. But some Janapadas became stronger and they increased their geographical boundaries or areas, and then it became Mahajanapadas. Okay, then they were called as Mahajanapadas. Now, from the literature of that period, it is clear that up to the 6th century BC, 16 Mahajanapadas had acquired special importance. So there were 16 Mahajanapadas who were given special importance. You can say as 16 states. In that, Kosala, Vatsya, Avanti and Magadha became more powerful. That means from these 16, these 4 became more powerful. Out of this 16, what were they? Vatsya, Kosala, Avanti and Magadha. Okay, you can see them in the map. It's also there. Now let's move forward. Now the ancient and modern names of the 16 Mahajanapadas. Now there are ancient names and the modern names. That means in ancient what they were called and in the modern what they are called. So what is in the bracket? That is a modern name. Okay. They are Kashi, that is Banaras. That is in that today what we call it as. Kosal, Lucknow. Malha, Gorakhpur. These names are in today's. Okay. Then the next is Vatsa, Allahabad. Chedi, Kanpur, Kuru, Delhi, Panchal, Rohilkhand, Matsya, Jaipur, Shorasan, Mathura, Ashmak, Aurangabad or Maharashtra, Avanti, Ujjain, Ang, Champa, East Bihar, Magadha, South Bihar, Vriji, North Bihar, Gandhara, Peshawar, and the last Kamboi near Gandhara. So all these were the 16 important Mahajanapadas. These are not only the names, but today where they are present is exactly given. Let's move forward. Now next this, as I told you, the 4 Mahajanapadas who were more powerful. We will learn about them in detail. So that is, next is Kosala. So from the Mahajanapadas, that is Kosala, Vatsya, Avanti and Magadha, they were more powerful. Now in this what is given is the description of the place, which king was ruling at that time. That all is given in this. Okay, let's see. The Kosala Mahajanapada was located in the foothills of the Himalayas in the region of Uttar Pradesh and Nepal. The famous cities of Kosala were Shravasti, Kushavati and Sanke. So Shravasti was the capital of Kosala. Shravasti was the capital of Kosala. Gautam Buddha had lived in the famous Vihara Jetwan as Shravasti for a longer time. So Gautam Buddha also lived there for a particular period of time. Now here we are talking, that was about that. Then the Kosala king, okay, who was the king ruling at that time. The Kosala king, Prasenjit, was a contemporary of the Buddha and Vardhaman Mahavir. And later the state of Kosala merged with Magadha. Means it started expanding. So the important thing we are going to keep in mind about these 4 Mahajanapadas are that where it is located. This place is located in the foothill of Himalayas. Then what is its capital? Shravasti was the capital. And King Prasenjit was a contemporary of Buddha and Vardhaman Mahavir. Now let's see the next Mahajanapada, that is Vatsya. Now the Mahajanapada Vatsya was located in the region around Prayag, that is Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh. And what was the capital of Vatsya? Kosam was the capital of Vatsya. Was the ancient city of Kausambi. It was an important center for trade. So Vatsya was an important center for trade, that's buying and selling of goods. Three extremely rich merchants of Kausambi had built three viharas for Gautam Buddha and his followers. So these three rich merchants, they built some small houses for these people. For whom? For Gautam Buddha and his followers. As you know, Gautam Buddha used to move from one place to another to preach to people. So they built small houses for them to live in. Okay. King Udyana, so who was the king ruling at that time in Vatsya? He was King Udyana, was a contemporary of Gautam Buddha. After King Udyana, the state of Vatsya could not maintain its independent existence for long. That means because after him, that is after King Udyana, must be not much capable. So who came after King Udyana, he was not that much capable and he could not handle it. So the king of Avanti, Mahajanapada, conquered the state. Let's move to the third. Next is Avanti. The ancient kingdom of Avanti was located in the Malwa region of Madhya Pradesh, and Ujjaini or Ujjain was the capital of Avanti. Now this city was also important for as a trade center. The king of Avanti, Pradyog, was a contemporary of Gautam Buddha and Vardhaman Mahavir. Now in all these four Mahajanapadas are always hearing Gautam Buddha's name. Why? Because all these sentences you can understand one thing, that the effect or influence of Gautam Buddha and his teachings, because of his teachings, everywhere you can see his name or you can hear his name. Influence of his teaching was very much on the kings and also the people. That means these kings ruling in these cities, they also used to like Gautam Buddha's teaching, and the people who used to stay in those cities, they also used to like his teachings. During the reign of King Nandivardhan, the state of Avanti was merged into the Magadha Empire. Means it was expanding into an empire. Next is Magadha. Now the ancient Mahajanapada of Magadha was spread through the regions of Gaya, Patna in Bihar and some regions in Bengal. So the capital of Magadha was Rajgriha or Rajgir. And King Bimbisara's palace was built by the architect Mahagovind. And very famous name, Jivika, was the famous physician at the court Bimbisara. Bimbisara had also become a follower of Gautam Buddha. He also liked his preachings. So the kings, that is, the kings also used to like Gautam Buddha's teaching. That is why they also became a follower of him. Then next to all these four Mahajanapadas, here in the map, you can see there are 16 Mahajanapadas. What are they? They are Ashmak, Avanti, Chedi, Vatsya, Matsya, Kuru, Panchala, Kosala, Mala, Kashi, Magadha, Vaji, Angha, Gandhara and Kamboja. Now these all names are very difficult to pronounce because they are in that language. As we learned Pali, Sanskrit and Ardha Magadhi. They are in those language. Next is the rise of the Magadha Empire. That means how this empire started flourishing, how it started rising. We will see that. Ajatashatru, the son of Bimbisara, continued with the policy of expansion of the Magadha Empire. Now there was always a rule that the sons of those people, sons always used to take over, right? As we learned in the previous chapter, Shahaji Raje and Shivaji Maharaj. So the same way, Ajatashatru, the son of Bimbisara, continued with the policy of expansion of the Magadha Empire. Bimbisara had started, Ajatashatru, the son of Bimbisara, continued with the policy of expansion of the Magadha Empire. That means first Bimbisara was there, then Ajayashatru also joined in expanding the empire. Okay, and that is why the kingdom of Magadha prospered during the reign of Ajayashatru. That means when Ajayashatru had taken over this empire, this empire started prospering. He also, Ajayashatru had also become a follower of Gautam Buddha, and he successfully conquered many republics of the East. That means he successfully conquered. After the Mahaparinivarna of Gautam Buddha, it was during his reign that the first Buddhist council or Sangati was held at Rajgriha. Now there was a Sangati, means a meeting, or you can say a preaching was held, right? How Gautam Buddha used to preach, so Ajayashatru also started preaching the people, telling about religion. Now here you can see in the picture, that is Ajayashatru's sculpture. And he was also known for the first Buddhist council or Sangati held at Rajgriha, which is the important one in the Buddhist history. Okay, now who was the founder of the Buddhist religion? Gautam Buddha, right? So the same way Ajayashatru also started a Sangati. Sangati means preaching to people because he was a follower of Gautam Buddha. So he learned from him. Now the next, let us see the foundation for the new capital, Pataligram of Magadha, was laid during Ajayashatru period. That means there was a foundation of a new capital, that is Pataligram, as you can see in the picture. And later it became famous. It was called as Pataliputra. The name changed. It was called as Pataliputra. And Pataliputra was probably in the vicinity of today's Patna city. That is what happened. The foundation of this capital, that means Ajayashatru took over this place and he kept it the name as Pataliputra. And today you will find this place in the city of Patna. Let's move forward. The next is the Nanda kings of Magadha. Let's see the kings of the Magadha Empire. Now the Nandas ruled the Magadha Empire between 364 BCE and 324 BCE. They had set up a good administration system necessary. Now to run an administration system, you need to have a huge empire also, and it was not that much easy to run such a big empire, right? So it was not easy because you need people with that, okay? But the Nanda king set up a good administration system, and because of that it became easy to run the administrative work. That means all were working together. If you all work together, then the work will be done easily and faster. They had a huge 4-column army. Okay, they had a huge 4-column army. There were infantry, cavalry, chariots, and elephants. All these things they had. The Nandas also introduced the system of standard weights and measures. Now today we are having this system, but it was basically used in the ruled power of Nanda kings. It was basically used in the Vedic period. Now here you can see in the map the Nanda dynasty. Okay, let's move forward. Then King Dhananand was the last king of the Nanda dynasty. Dynasty is a family of that, or you can say a group of people who are ruling that empire. So King Dhananand was the last king of the Nanda dynasty. By this time, the Magadha empire had extended up to Punjab in the west. That means how much they extended, to which all places they go and conquered the places over there. However, during Dhananand's reign, the ambitious youth Chandragupta Maurya won Pataliputra and ended the Nanda regime and laid the foundation of the Maurya Empire. So, the ambitious youth, that is Chandragupta Maurya, also won Pataliputra and ended the Nanda regime and laid the foundation of the Maurya Empire. Okay, he laid the foundation. When you lay the foundation, that means that's yours. Okay, let's move forward. So, what did we learn today? In today's topic, we discussed about the Janapads. They were four important Janapads. Then they became into Mahajanapads. They were Kosala, Vatsya, Avanti, and Magadha. And in detail, we learned about the rise of the Magadha Empire, how the Magadha kings ruled over different places, and the Nanda kings of Magadha. Let's move forward. That's your homework. The first question is the period from about 1000 BC to 600 BC is considered to be the dash period. Next is the king of Magadha prospered during the reign of dash. Next is what is meant by Mahajanapadas. And the last question is who was Bimbisara's son? That's all for now. Your chapter ends over here. We will learn the next chapter in the next video. Thank you for listening, children. Goodbye. Take care.